Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Ep.21 Gaming here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have episode number 21 of our Zero Overall franchise. Again, another episode, another new season. We have the first 4 games here today. And if you guys are new, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. It is free, really helps out the channel. And leave a like button down below as well. If you guys missed any episodes, it should show up on the corner right here and right now. So yeah, if you guys miss anything, go watch that. Go watch the first 20 episodes, come back to this video, and we'll continue to try to run our dominance. But first, if you guys do want a player in this franchise, just comment name down below. First, I'll need 3 things: name, position, and college. We get you added in to this franchise and see where you go. We already have a couple people already in here, and they have actually had some really solid careers and so far 2 seasons in. But actually right now we have some breaking news coming out of Rio. Chuba Hubbard is going to get traded to the Chicago Bears for a 5th round pick. He said, "I want out," after the Dragons draft 2 running backs. Hubbard's like, "I want out. I want to go somewhere that'll have me somewhat play." So Chuba Hubbard does go to the Bears. But week 1 against the Seahawks, 3 plays into the game, Travarius Corbett walks it in the end zone. The rookie's first NFL touchdown. It's 7-0 here early. First and goal for the Seahawks on their first drive of the game. Have a lot of people on routes and somehow gets in. That is JSN. Gets the touchdown to make it 7-7 here in the first quarter. 3rd down and goal from the 15-yard line. Their defense actually played pretty well on this drive, forced us back after a couple sacks. We run a screen, don't get much on it, we get 9, but we needed 15, and we're going to have to kick a field goal at the end of the first quarter to make it 10-7, lead after 1. Pretty much almost the start of the second quarter. We decide to run a blitz. We get home, and he fumbles the football, and this time we actually recover the fumble, unlike the Super Bowl. Nakobe Dean gets the first sack and the first fumble of the season. 2 plays later on 3rd down and 3, Corbett again. His 2nd NFL rushing touchdown, his 2nd of the day, to make it 17-7. We're about to run away with it. But just before the half, or just before the 2-minute warning, the Seattle Seahawks will kick a 40-yard field goal to make it 17-10 with a minute 30 to go. From the 31-yard line, the safety baits us to throw the running back, and he's going to pick it off. It's an interception for the Seahawks. It gets out of bounds as Devin Witherspoon. And about a minute later, the Seattle Seahawks, no longer led by Geno Smith, throws it. Metcalf caught, touchdown. His first of the game, his first of the new season, to make it 17-17 here. And they start with the ball in the second half. 4:30 to go. Kenneth Walker right up the gut, touchdown, Seahawks. To make it 24-17, does the stanky leg over there. After a 3-and-out forced by their defense. Their offense back on the field from the 25-yard line. We send the blitz again, and Branch forces another fumble. He's going to recover it on his own again. That's 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries forced by this defense here in this game, and that really woke up the offense. On 3rd down and 9, though, from the 17, we try to throw it quickly, and it gets intercepted. His 2nd pick thrown for Anthony Richardson in this game. I try to throw it quickly to Rashawn Miller, but after a quick 3-and-out, we find, guess who? It is going to be Brock Bowers, the rookie tight end, his first NFL touchdown. But now with 2 minutes to go, DK Metcalf finds the end zone for his 2nd of the game to take the lead late. But with 19 seconds, Corbett with his 3rd of the game. His first ever career NFL game. He runs it 3 times into the end zone for touchdowns. But on 3rd down and 12, after we force it to overtime, he tries to throw it quickly. He had a man open underneath, but didn't get it. But now it's 4th down and 12 from the 43-yard line. And now if you guys been around the channel, you know I don't really show punt returns. But we had to show this one. Because Rashawn Miller, from his own 20, returns it 80 yards for a punt return for a touchdown to call game. Unbelievable punt return from Rashawn Miller. He ends the game right there. An unbelievable game altogether, let's be honest. A 37-31 overtime victory in Week 1. What a way to open up the NFL season, to go into overtime and to end on a punt return. Looking at the stats of this game, we had Anthony Richardson 14 for 21, 286 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Devarius Corbett, 122 yards on 22 carries, 3 touchdowns, 1 broken tackle. He did have 1 fumble in the game, but Anthony Richardson did not have a good rushing-wise. Brock Bowers, 4 catches, 79 yards, the only touchdown reception. Danny Brackett with 3, Corbett with 3, and only Rashawn Miller and our 2 best wide receivers didn't really get many catches. But Monty Wise led the team with 12 tackles in this game. He had 3 tackles for a loss. A great way to start his 4th season as a pro. And we had 3 sacks. Dean, Branch, and Carey. No interceptions. We did have 3 forced fumbles. We didn't get one of them. We only got the 2 from the sacks. But quick 1-0 on the season. Now Week 2 against Jacksonville at home again. Week 2 is going to start off with an Anthony Richardson walk-in touchdown from the 5-yard line on the read option. A quick and easy run from him to make it 7-0. It's his first rushing touchdown of the season. To make it 17-0 here in the first quarter. 4:41 to go after an incomplete pass thrown by Trevor Lawrence. He tries to find the outside receiver, but the reigning defensive rookie of the year, Steve Henson, with an interception. But now from the 15-yard line, 2:11 to go, we throw again the same play that results in another interception for Anthony Richardson. That's his 3rd of the season already here in just the 2nd week. But now 1st down 10 for the Jags from the 21-yard line. He's going to try to throw it across his body. Gets picked off by Monty Wise. We read that one all the way. A 2nd interception already forced by this defense. And now from the 22-yard line, we find none other than Rashawn Miller. And there he goes. 78 yards for his first catch of the day is a touchdown. And already here, 1st down and goal from the 2. We decide to run it with Corbett. He's going to get in the end zone for a touchdown. His 4th of the season already. Our defense was dominating Jacksonville early. We forced another punt here on 4th down and 2 because they haven't done anything on offense. This is going to be a fake pass here from Jacksonville, who ends up getting it and in the end zone for a touchdown to make it now 21-7 here in the 2nd quarter. Well, with 4th down 11 from the 33-yard line, we end up stopping that little run they have here with a field goal to make it 24-7. So an already dominating performance here by our defense. And now 2nd down and 9 from the 24-yard line. He's going to throw it to a wide open receiver and gets in for the touchdown for Lorenzo Kelly. His 1st of the game, 24-14. But again, Rashawn Miller finds the opening. He just runs by everybody and gets in the end zone for another touchdown. His 2nd of the game to make it 31-14 after half. Now our first drive after a punt. We decide to throw it up to Brock Bowers, and he comes down with it. His 1st of the game, his 2nd of the season, to make it 38-14 with 2:30 to go in the game. They find a man open. We hit a big hit on him, and he fumbles the football. I don't know what you would call this. Is this a fumble or a pick? It works either way. But Stokes with the technical recovery to make it 3rd and still now from the 17-yard line, 38-14. Richardson drops back to pass, and guess who again? Brock Bowers. 2nd of the game, 3rd of the season. All ready for him. 45-14 here to start the 4th quarter, and here where the wheels fall off for the Jags. This is George Brooks with an interception, his 1st of the season, to make it our ball at the 41-yard line. After a punt, actually, a quick punt, he decided to throw it again to the same guy, George Brooks, his 2nd of the season and 2nd of the game. Still 45, and that actually ends it right there. They did end up getting a field goal late to make it 45-17. But a dominating performance all the way around with Anthony Richardson, 11 for 18, 403 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Had a great day through the air. Rose had a good day on the ground. 22 carries, 120 yards, 1 touchdown. And Anthony Richardson had 2 carries for 17 yards for a touchdown. But Brock Bowers and Rashawn Miller both had 2 touchdowns. Rashawn Miller led the team with receiving yards with 151. Dwight Gooden came close with 94. Strong and Kerr allowed 2 sacks in the game. George Brooks and Mitch Stokes both tied the team with tackles with 7. Jerome Means did have 2 sacks on the game, along with Monty Wise getting 1. And 4 picks on the game. Henson, Wise, and then 2 by George Brooks. And, of course, we did have that forced fumble by Monty Wise, which honestly could have been called an interception. It just kind of depends when looking at it. See if we had any, any actual catch there. But on to week number 3. Against the Texans on the road for the first time this season. And just like normal, we find out Rashawn Miller just isn't being covered at all. It's the linebacker that's covering him. We decide to throw it up, and he's just gone. Rashawn Miller again with a 65-yard touchdown reception to make it an early 7-0 game. Already at the 9-yard line after a quick 3-and-out forced by the defense. With 3 minutes to go, we decide to run it left side, and Corbett runs it in again for another touchdown on his young season and make it 14-0. But the Texans, they always battle with us a lot. Throws it up. This time, George Brooks actually doesn't break for the ball. Dameon Pierce. Wish he could do that in real life. I need him in my fantasy team. But he gets the first touchdown for the Texans. And our next drive, we end up having to settling for a 50-plus yard field goal to make it 17-7 here in Houston. And again, after another 3-and-out, we actually get a chance for another field goal to make it 20-7 after their defense really started to step it up. 2 minutes to go here left, but this time he tries to test George Brooks again. This time he fails the test. George Brooks with the interception to all the way to the 20-yard line. And now with a minute and a half to go, we find out that Damon Gooden can all of a sudden beat press coverage. And he goes all the way for a touchdown to make it now 27-7. But the Texans don't go away quietly. With 17 seconds to go in the half, they find the end zone to McCree, who has always been our thorn in our side. But in the fourth quarter, Texans kick a field goal to make it 27-20. All of a sudden, it's a one-score game. With 5:12 to go in the game, Damon Gooden again beats Derek Stingley on the outside, and it's another touchdown for him. Make it 34-20, but again, the Texans trying to get away, and it's going to be Steve Henson with the interception. Second of the season, second in back-to-back games, but we don't really do anything on offense. Set 37-20. Tries to throw it outside, but Steve Henson again. This time, calls game with a pick six. Even does a little through the legs with the football there. But an unbelievable game from the defense with another pick six to make it 44-20. And this time, George Brooks says, what you can do, I can do better. Both of them had 2 picks in the game. This one's not all the way to the end zone. But that's going to do it right there. We actually end the game with a 44-20 win over the Houston Texans. And we do an amazing game on defense. Offensively, we were not good. We only had 44% completion percentage. Their defense really stepped up in the second half. But looking at the passing, 11 for 25, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 286 yards for Anthony Richardson on the game. Travarius Corbett, though, 19 carries, 151 yards, and 1 touchdown for him. Other than that, not really too much there. But Damon Gooden, 5 catches, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rashawn Miller had the other one. And Brock Bowers, of course, 3 catches, 35 yards so far on the in the game. Monty Wise led the team with 8 tackles. We had a bunch of tackles for a loss, but only 2 sacks. Of course, Steve Henson and George Brooks both had interceptions in the game, and both had 2 of them. But now for the final game of the episode. We're going to go into LA to face the Rams. And we're already going to jump in to the first quarter, or almost middle of the first quarter, where we actually get stopped on 3rd down and goal and had to kick a very short field goal to make it 3-0. This was a very defensive-heavy game, let me just tell you right now. But the Rams, it wasn't early on for them. It was an offensive game. They run it in to make it 7-3 by Will Patton to start the second quarter. But now middle way through the second quarter, Corbett runs it in to make it 10-7, kind of a back and forth kind of game where we both waste a ton of time during scores. With 31 seconds to go, Mumphrey gets burned again by Jordan Cummings to make it 14-10, but we had time to get into field goal range. We had all the timeouts. On 3rd down and 1, we ended up kicking a field goal to make it 14-13. This was a big field goal for us, too. You'll find out why at the end of the game here. But the Rams, their first possession of the second half, end up kicking a field goal to make it 17-13. And now 2nd down and goal. We're running right. Bowers kind of starts running left. And it's going to be intercepted in the end zone. We're trying to get to our rookie tight end. We couldn't get it to him. We decided to send pressure on the next drive, and George Brooks with another interception. He has been insane this season already. And that ends up getting us down the field and in the end zone with less than 2 minutes to go to make it 19-17. We decide to go for 2 to make it a 4-point ball game here with under 2. Anthony Richardson is going to take the snap, roll right, and who else but Brock Bowers gets wide open in the end zone for 2. But now with 1:05, throws right side, Stokes with a missed tackle, and the Rams, with 58 seconds to go, take the lead just before at the end of the game. But with 55 seconds, Rashawn Miller beats L'Jarius Sneed for 75 yards. We decided to take off some clock here, but for another touchdown with 47 seconds remain in the game. 4th down and 7. This is the game right here for the Rams. Down by 4. We send the heat. They cover it up pretty quickly. It's thrown and picked off by none other than Steve Henson, who takes it all the way to the end zone. He called game twice in this episode. He'll make it 35-24, and that's the actual final of the game. I mean, Anthony Richardson had a decent game today with 69% completion percentage. 16 for 23 with a touchdown and a pick. Travaris Corbett with 2 rushing touchdowns and 5 yards per carry. He also had 6 catches, 57 yards, so great game from him. Rashawn Miller had the only touchdown reception. And, of course, Devin Berry. And as you can see here, Devin Mumphrey led the team with 8 tackles. A bunch of tackles for a loss and a bunch of sacks. And, of course, the interceptions. But anyways, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new, of course, I said that earlier. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.